Assalamu alaikum, my dear first year secondary students. زي طلاب الصف الأول الثانوي. Today I'm going to deal with Unit 6 titled Learning from Literature. التعلم من الأدب أو قراءة الأدب. هنبدأ بالديفينيشنز أو التعريفات. أول كلمة novel والمعنى a long story رواية.
A poem.
A poem اللي هي قصيدة. A poem is a piece of writing often arranged in lines that rhyme. قصيدة.
Poetry.
Poetry اللي هو الشعر is a form of writing.
A poet.
A poet اللي هو الشاعر تعريف الشاعر. A poet is someone who writes poems. نيجي للكلمة اللي بعد كده. Hay is dry grass that people use to feed animals. اللي هو العش يستخدم لإطعام الحيوانات. Lot small piece of land for growing things on. هي قطعة أرض.
Dig.
كلمة dig break up and move earth with your hands or a machine. يحفر.
Gravel.
gravel يقصد بها small stones اللي هو الحصو ده أو الحصى. شوف ريدي مع بعض. You're going to read a short biography about an author called Robert Louis Stevenson. Find out why Stevenson traveled to warm places. Robert Louis Stevenson was born in Scotland in 1850 and died 44 years later in Samoa, a small island in the South Pacific. He was not always well because the weather in Edinburgh was too cold for him. When he was a child, he couldn't always go to school. He studied to become a lawyer at Edinburgh University, but he always wanted to write. At the age of 21, he decided to become a full-time writer. He often traveled to warmer places to try to improve his health. For a while he lived in France, and this was where he met his wife, Annie. She was from the United States, so Stevenson also traveled to America with her. Although he is best known for his novels, like Kidnapped and The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Stevenson also wrote many poems and travel books. His first successful novel was Treasure Island, an adventure story about pirates. His books are still very popular today, and many of them have been made into films. نيجي بقى للأسئلة. Answer these questions. Number one, why did Stevenson travel to warm places? He traveled to warm places because he was often ill and Edinburgh was too cold for him. Number two, complete these sentences about Robert Louis Stevenson. Robert Louis Stevenson came from Scotland. 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 He wrote poems or poetry as well as novels and travel books. Read this poem by Robert Louis Stevenson, The Gardener. Gardener هو الجنايني. The gardener does not love to talk. He makes me keep the gravel walk. And when he puts his tools away, he locks the door and takes the key away behind the carrot row, where no one else but cook may go. Find the plots. I see him dig, old and serious, brown and big. He digs the hours, green, red, and blue, nor wishes to be spoken to. He digs the hours and cuts the hay, and never seems to want to play. تيجي بقى الكلمات الموجودة في درس قصيدة. Keep the gravel walk معناها stay on the path through the garden. Current row a line of plants that have small fruits. Read the poem again and choose the correct answer. Number one, the speaker in the poem is probably a child. Number two, in the garden, the speaker must follow some rules. Number three, the gardener doesn't like to talk the color. He has to work very hard. Number four, the speaker wants the gardener to play games. Listening.
Teacher, this week we're studying the Scottish writer Robert Louis Stevenson, in particular his poetry, not his novels. Have any of you heard about him or read any of his work? Nesma, didn't he write Treasure Island? I tried reading it last year, but it was a bit boring, so I decided to watch the film instead. Teacher, did you like it? Nesma, yes, it was really good. I love adventure films and I enjoy reading adventure stories too. I just found Treasure Island a bit difficult. Teacher, well, it was written a long time ago. He was born in 1850 and Treasure Island was published in 1881. And Wafa, have you read any of his books? Wafa, I don't think so. I prefer reading romantic stories and poems. Teacher, well, Stevenson wrote poems too. In fact, he wrote all kinds of things. He began writing stories when he was a child and unwell. Unfortunately, Stevenson was often very ill and he finished writing Treasure Island while he was ill in bed. He continued to write more books, including a collection of poems called A Child's Garden of Verses, and he also traveled a lot to get away from the cold Scottish weather. Nesma, Switzerland mainly. In fact, his first book was about his travels in France. He and his family loved sailing and they wanted to sail from America, where they were living, to the South Pacific. The family chose to build a house in Samoa and the Stevenson family lived there until he died in 1894. Now, for this week's lesson, I want you to choose a story or poem by Stevenson and bring it to class to discuss. Then,
نيجي طبعا للأسئلة answer the question. A. What are the class going to study? Together, Poems by Robert Louis Stevenson. Did Mr. read Treasure Island? No, she watched the film instead. C. What kind of books does Wafa like to read? Romantic stories and poems. السؤال اللي بعده دي why did Robert Louis Stevenson like to travel? To get away from the cold Scottish weather. E. What did everyone in the Stevenson family like doing? They all loved sailing. Reading. Listen and read the poem, then answer these questions. Bed in summer. In winter I get up at night and dress by yellow candle light. In summer quite the other way, I have to go to bed by day. I have to go to bed and see the birds still hopping on the tree, or hear the grown-up people's feet still don't pass me in the street. And does it not seem hard to you when all the sky is clear and blue, and I should like so much to play to have to go to bed by day? Answer the questions. Question number 1, how many verses are there? Together, 3. Number B, which words rhyme in the poem? Night and the light, way, day, sea, tree, field, street, you, blue, blade, day. السؤال اللي بعده. C, does the poem have rhythm? Yes. D. Which of the following have rhythm? Can you think of other things which have rhythm? Music, the sea, a moving train. Two opinions about the poem Bed in Summer. Khaled, 4 minutes past 4 p.m. The word Stevenson has used very clearly describes the situations he's writing about, and I really like that. I also think the poem's subject is very interesting because everyone feels differently in different seasons. In my opinion, poets should write about everyday life. However, I think the second verse is too long and its rhythm is too slow. طبعا رأي خالد. Hamid, 5:36 p.m. I love the language in the poem, especially the way Stevenson describes the light at different times of the day. I also think the second verse is great because the rhymes in it are so clever. However, in my opinion, the poem's subject is quite boring because gone to bed and getting up aren't very interesting activities. I think poets should write about more exciting things. ده طبعا رأي حامد. تيجي الأسئلة. Question number 1. What do Khalid and Muhammad agree about? They agree that the poet's use of language is good. They both like the poet's use of language. Number 2, find 2 things that Khalid and Muhammad disagree about. They have different ideas about the poem's subject and the second verse. Prepositions and expressions. Don't forget what that got. Away, behind, بعيدا, خلف. Best known for, يعني well known for, مشهور به, famous for. Pacific Ocean, يعني المحيط الهادي. Have rhythm, ذو إيقاع. Popular with, يعني محبوب لدى. Precious treasure, كنز ثمين أو نفيس. Help with, يساعد فيه. غالبا ان help with بيجي بعدها دايما الاسم او ممكن فيها مضاف اليه، لكن help someone to المصدر. lay it down يضع جانبا. نكمل prepositions والexpressions. حروف الجر والأفراد. current role صف من الجار العنب. adventure story قصة مغامرات. وخلي بالنا هنا الادفنشر هو اسم يعمل عمل السفر بكلمة ستوري. بيرفكت حافي أو عالي القدمين. put something away يضع شيء ما في مكانه. anything else أي شيء آخر. bear and brown يعني بمعنى غير مورقة للأشجار. summer goes ينتهي الصيف. يجي بقى ليه synonyms المترادفات الكلمة والمعنى. clear بتساوي obvious, pure, bright ومعناها طبعا واضح. hate يعني بتساوي loathe, detest, يمقت أو يكره. walk هنا بتعني route or path ممر، معناها برضه يمشي. grown ups اللي هي البالغين adults. lock up small prison سجن صغير. هنشوف مع بعض الانتونيمز او المتضادات الكلمه وعكسها. avoid يتجنب، العكس confront يعني يواجه. boring ممل، العكس interesting يعني شيق ومثير. clear واضح، العكس cloudy or unclear. fair العكس dishonest. fair يعني امين او عادل، العكس dishonest kind. luck يعني يغلط او مغلق. unluck يعني luck يعني يغلط. unlock يفتح so open. popular يعني محبوب او مشهور. unpopular العكس. light طبعا طبعا معناها مضيء او ضوء، العكس دارك وداركنس. فورمال يعني رسمي، العكس informal يعني غير رسمي. نيجي طبعا للاكسرسايز. choose the correct answer. Number one, the window isn't covered by anything. It is bare. Number two, small pieces of land used for growing things are plots. Farmers use to feed animals hay. Number four, to space means to move something in or under side using a tool, to dig. Number five, he spaced the door with the key. He locked. Number six, something that is not clever or sensible, silly. Number seven, if you space, you get good or useful from a situation, benefit. Number eight, it is space, it is enjoyable and nice. It is pleasant. Number nine, the light was up. He used an to see. He used a candle. Number 10, the lines that form one part of a poem are verse. Number 11, space, the repeated sound in music or poems, rhythm. Number 12, a moving seat that children play on is swing. Swing. Number 13, they found an old ship under the water, which they think is full of treasure. Number 14, I don't like this music. It doesn't have any rhythm. Number 15, I enjoy riding swing in the park. Number 16, for Anwar, we have to write the first of the poem, the first verse of the poem. وبكده طبعا تبقى كانت حصه النهارده. نشكركم ونعدكم بلقاءات اخرى. شكرا والسلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته.